up against pretty good defense here.
Mismatch, though.
Oh, they're doubling him, Clark.
Yeah, he's looking over the floor.
The clock running down here. He's going to have to hoist it. Way outside. Oh, he put it down! What a shot!
This is the NBA on NBC.
This is the NBA on 2K Sports. Welcome, folks. I'm Damon Bruce. It's Tuesday Hoops.
And the players getting themselves into game mode with the tip-off just moments away. Welcome, everyone. Let's get ready for some NBA basketball on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. And joining us a bit later from the sidelines, Doris Burke. We've got a chance now for our starting lineups from point guard to center. This game should be a good one. First for Chicago, Harper's out there with Michael Jordan. We've got Longley. He's thrilled for this one. Everyone will be watching now how he does in his first NBA official game. Then there's Pippen, and it's Rodman in at the 4 spot. And looking at the Lakers, Van Exel is out there with Jones. And the big guy in the middle, Shaquille O'Neal. A big game for this young man making his NBA debut. Then there's Ori, and it's Campbell in at the power forward position.
Boy, I tell you, the Bulls showed how resilient they could be without Derrick Rose last season. They played competitive basketball, but up against the Western Conference, they just didn't quite have the same punch. Got beat up pretty good out west.
And back to the Bulls against the West. Not sure what exactly their shortcomings were, but in the end, Steve, they were only able to win 11 games out of the 30 they played out of conference.
You know, the Bulls were a team that could win games on grit and toughness, but the West was a lot more talented last year than the East. And so some nights Chicago just kind of ran into reality, and they didn't have enough talent to deal with some of those Western teams.
Well, that was a quick foul for him there. The refs are certainly calling it close.
Bulls on D. And the pass to Ori. Outside, Jones. And it's off from three-point range. Chicago with the ball. It's stolen by Jones. Here is Ori. He dishes it to Jones. Van Exel. Pass to Campbell. Shot clock at 6. Gets it to go.
Good way to start the game there. I mean, that's a nice inside bucket.
No question, Clark. I think they'd like to establish a presence down low early in the game to get their offense going.
Now here's Pippen. Harper up top. Smooth as silk on the finger roll. And here's the Lakers. Van Exel with it. It's stolen by Rodman. Now Harper feeds it to Pippen. Pass to Longley. Dives for it. And that's out of bounds. Chicago will retain possession. And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Hey, Kevin, I spoke with the Lakers head coach. He said they'll have to do a good job moving their feet on the defensive end or they'll get dunked on all night. He told me that they are very aware of the slashers and finishers they're facing and will try to turn them into jump shooters. Let's see how successful they are, Kevin.
Thanks again, Doris. Now, here's Van Exel. Pass to Orr. And here is Campbell, guarded by Pippen. Jordan against Orr. Jordan's shot is off.
That's kind of a shocker. The defense was there, but it wasn't right in his face. Kind of out of character for him to miss those.
Bulls have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Outside Pippen. And just under 2.5 minutes elapsed here in the first. Van Exel with it. Now guarded by Harper. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Yeah, when he's not blocking shots, he's altering them, Kevin, because he's just a constant presence and a threat defensively in the paint.
And I know nothing fires him up more than a huge jam right in the face of an opponent. I mean, those facials get him going. Don't discount how that can deflate the defender and the other team, too.
Kobe's checked in for Jones, and he can't hit the second.
Well, since the new CBA, the league has made the luxury tax much more punitive. But certainly the Lakers blessed with the financial wherewithal to be a tax-paying team. The problem is it can hurt your flexibility under the new rules just to make deals. And that's going to be the challenge for LA.
Here's Van Exel after the made shot from Scottie Pippen. Here's Kobe. Rejected by Jordan. And he's able to get it back. And Shaq backs down. Los Angeles with another miss. Well, you talk about the huge fan base for the Lakers, Clark. One of the marquee franchises, certainly in the entire NBA.
I would even stretch that to all of sports, Kevin. The market and their finances clearly have helped them gain that stature, but you can't shortchange the organization, the people making the decisions. They've been a winner for a long time, and that's been the magic ingredient that's attracted fans, players, sponsors, the full package. Oh, a dunker of his caliber should finish that one off with no problem. That's embarrassing.
Here's Pippen, and it's Chicago's scoring again.
Offensively, he can be the engine that drives them at any given time.
Passes it to Orr. It's Kobe Bryant on the wing. Rebound by the Bulls. Now here's Pippen. Banked in off the glass. Pippen's got 8 points.
They've got themselves in front with some outstanding shooting right off the bat.
Yeah, it's been a clinic at that end of the floor, no question.
Van Exel dishes to O'Neal. The timely screen gave him a step, and he took it all the way.
The screenplay worked ideally there, and I'm not talking about the screenplay you see in a movie theater. Gave him more than enough room to get that shot off.
Chicago leading by 4. Jordan kicks to Rodman. Back to Jordan. Right side, Jordan, and it's wide right. It's off the rim.
Major defensive lapse right there. And he's not a player you can leave open for a jump shot. You got to stay attached to him. They're lucky he couldn't punish them for it.
And the Bulls making a change here. Kobe a screen on Pippen. And here is Van Exel. He feeds it to Kobe. Back to Van Exel. Off target from three-point range.
Now defensively, they did a great job of staying tight on him.
And Shaq backs down. Stolen by Pippen. Lots of room. Gets it to go. Pippen's got 10 points in the game. Let's look at the energy stats, how the hustle game has been going for the Bulls.
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early going.
Yeah, I do too, and I think they're also getting some good looks in transition, doing a nice job of running the floor.
And the shot is good.
I like the offensive awareness to exploit that lack of coverage on that play.
To the middle. The shot from the low post is good.
I'll tell you what, the defenders didn't even get a sniff of him on that move to the hoop.
Van Exel kicks to Kobe. And he makes no mistake on the slam dunk.
Make it 2 hands for safety. That's what they say, right?
Yeah, that's right. You got it. And he was also safe with that dunk.
No reason not to be.
Might as well remove all doubt, right?
Here's Rodman. Here's Caffey. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
Pretty bad defense, letting the offense get right to the rim, but smart play to foul once he was there.
But you know it's going to happen, and they sent a message right there. Nothing easy inside.
First free throw is good.
Well, the Bulls battled in last year's postseason. Got a Game 7 win in Brooklyn to sneak out of round 1 in what was one of the more interesting series of the first round, but then fell to the Heat in round 2.
The Bulls making a switch here. Wennington, he's checked in for Rodman. Kukoc comes in for Scottie Pippen. Steve Kerr's checked in for Michael Jordan. And it's Brown in for Ron Harper. And out of bounds is Chicago gains possession. Bushler's checked in for Chicago. The Bulls leading by 4. And for the Bulls, no Rose the whole time. And they had questions constantly being asked if he would return. But the team came together, Steve, and showed the Bulls aren't just a one-man show.
You know, they missed him, though, Kevin, and desperately. I thought they performed admirably, but they really needed him against the Heat. They were able to steal Game 1 in that Eastern Conference semifinal matchup, but without him, the Bulls just didn't have enough firepower to beat Miami.
Here's Wennington. Lock at 6. Kukoc covered by Kersey. Fires it up. Nice jump shot from the top of the key. Kukoc has got his first basket. Lakers trail by 6. We've got 1:23 left in the first quarter of the game. Here's McLeod. Back to Knight. Right through the knee for the layup. For Chicago, they've gone 8 of 12 on field goal attempts so far. Brown outside. He passes to Wennington. The kick out to Brown. No good off the back of the rim.
You really don't want to see him missing those mid-range shots, but when he's open, he's got to shoot it.
Ripped away. And here we go, the Bulls fast break. Bushler, the shot's good. Brown making the play. And the Bulls lead by 6. LA's gotten just 2 of 6 to fall from 3-point range so far in the first. Brown against Fisher. Kersey. And the 3 off target. 1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. Rejected by Kersey. Bushler, the pass to Wennington. Here's Bushler. He's guarded by Knight. Knight grabs the board. Here's Fisher. Foul call. Looked like the D didn't get there in time, and he'll shoot free throws. Lakers shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night.
At the line for 2.
The first free throw is good, and the Bulls making a change here. So he makes 1 of 2 as the second one misses. Bushler. And that concludes the first quarter of play. Bulls lead by 5. And we'll get things started in the second quarter. All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And taking a look at Chicago's performance here, Clark and Steve, what have they been doing or not doing?
A lot of hard work being put in on the glass. This is a very physical team. They're doing a nice job in the paint.
Yeah, and I think they're doing a good job gang rebounding too, Steve. Everybody's boxing out down there.
Kukoc dishes to Kerr. Out of bounds, Bulls ball as Chicago keeps possession. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, over to you.
Well, guys, Andrei Kirilenko has signed a contract with the Brooklyn Nets after playing a year with his old team, CSKA Moscow, in 2011-12. He said, with the condensed season in the NBA, it was a great chance for me to play in Russia in front of my family and friends while I'm still in my prime. And guys, he won the EuroLeague MVP. Now, back at it led in the NBA.
Nice to have him back. Thanks, Doris. Rejected by Kukoc.
You know, they haven't been able to open up a big lead, but the rebounds are starting to add up for them. They may be able to pull away a little bit.
Yeah, they've been doing the dirty work inside, Steve, playing a very tough brand of basketball.
Scott kicks to Knight. The dish now to Jones. Here's the feed to Scott. Good on the three-point shot. Scott's got the opening field goal of the second quarter for the Lakers.
And he's someone the defense has to keep track of at all times because, you know, even when he doesn't have the ball, he moves so well without it. He's constantly a threat to catch and shoot.
And another thing about his game that's really noticeable is how well he handles defensive pressure when he's getting his shot off. He's a very composed shooter.
Chicago leading. Now the pass to Bushley. Fires the jumper from the corner and nails it. We're about a minute and a half into the second quarter now. Outside, Jones. Jones off a big from Knight. This is to Scott. From past the arc. And another three for the Lakers.
These defenders are putting up very little resistance to the three-point shot.
And it's killing him. That's 4 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have been three-pointers.
Chicago calls timeout.
You know, offensively last season, guys, the Lakers just never seemed to be able to get out of their own way. I mean, they had the worst turnover ratio in the league, and they really struggled to take care of the ball. And even when they got up a shot, a lot of them were questionable shots. They shot the 3rd most threes in the league, but were in the bottom half of the league in percentage.
Chicago making a switch here. Here's Curry. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Bushler, the pass to Longley. Right block shot, and that's good off the glass that time. And the Bulls lead by 3. And going back to the Lakers' offensive troubles last season, the worst free throw percentage, Steve, in the NBA.
And obviously that's attributed directly to Dwight Howard because the Lakers also led the league in free throw attempts. So Howard was getting hacked. He really couldn't get it going. He made about half his free throws for the season. And that just really carried over into the team's performance.
The Bulls have gone 2 of 6 from the field in the second quarter so far. Back to Jordan. No one near him. Offensive rebound. Longley with the bucket.
That's what they're hanging their hat on today, fellas. Hard-nosed, smash-mouth play down on the low block.
To me, that's the key to any game. Who can win the battle in the paint? And right now, they've got it going.
Ori kicks to Kobe. Ori a screen on Jordan. Kobe with it. He's picked up by Jordan. Left side, Jordan. Shot denied. But he recovers it. And yes, sir, that one drops. Bushler's got 6.
They have repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid dividends.
Yeah, it sure has, Clark. I mean, with as many points as they've gotten in the paint, they really haven't had to do much on the perimeter.
Went for the two-hander on that slam. That's where the weight room comes into play, Kevin.
I think some urgency from him there.
Yeah, he's sensing this is a critical time in this game, guys.
Down low. The feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful. Bushler's got 6 points in the quarter.
Boy, they are just destroying them in the paint.
You could say that again, Steve. The defenders just aren't aggressive enough down low.
Dennis Rodman. He's checked in for Bushler. Pass to Ori. Kicks it to Kobe. Ori a screen on Jordan. Inside. And the officials call goaltending, so they'll award the basket.
He thought he had that one clean, but the ref saw it differently. They'll count the basket. Guys, how about the Bulls being able to nab the 5th seed in the East last season, in large part due to how they were able to play on the road? Of course, when you play tough, solid defense like they do, it makes it easier to be competitive and string together road wins.
Kerr against Scott. Here's Kerr. Looking for his first basket still in this one. Kept alive. Here's Longley. Nice work on the boards. Paying off with the basket. And the Bulls lead by 2.
Well, it's obvious the difference in this quarter has been their dominance on the offensive boards.
Yeah, I think you're right, Clark. A lot of second chance points, and they're not resting on their lead. They're really being aggressive and attacking the lane.
And for the Bulls, defense is one of the few things in the NBA that can neutralize a home court advantage. And Steve, a big part of why they had the success they had on the road.
Yeah, they went 21-20 away from the United Center, and one of only 5 teams in the entire East who managed to stay above 500 away from home. That's a real tribute to this team and the coaching staff.
He's off on the first.
Well, for the Lakers last season, it seemed there was so much turmoil throughout the year. Injuries, coaching-wise, changes in the offense. And they never were able to really gain any momentum. They made a decent run at the end of the season, but that didn't carry over into the postseason when they were swept by the Lakers in the first round.
Pippen with it. Now guarded by McLeod. Pippen with it. 10 points for him. He kicks it to Kerr. Backing down is Jordan. Pass to Longley. 4 on the clock. And Shaq sends it back. McLeod pass to Orr. Kobe. And Jordan sends it back. And they're able to recover. Fast break. Here comes Chicago. And Rodman gets it to go.
And that bucket adds to what's been a big differential in points in the paint between these two teams.
Defensively, the intensity just hasn't been there. They've got to pick up the pace.
The Bulls making a switch here. From the inbound. And Shaq pulls it down. Shaq's got 3 rebounds now in this one. I think going back to D'Antoni and the Lakers, that Howard and Gasol were made more than a little disgruntled with how Clark he made use or didn't make use of them offensively.
You know, the Lakers brought in D'Antoni to try to emphasize Steve Nash and his role in the offense, but I think they neglected how that would affect the 7-footers. Didn't do a really good job of incorporating those guys, and when you got Kobe getting his shots, that's a tough dynamic to work through.
Now let's send it to Doris from the sideline.
Well, gentlemen, the Lakers barely squeezed into the playoffs last season. Despite that, they had the largest luxury tax bill in the league, almost $30 million, more than double the next highest team in the Miami Heat. So, maybe one silver lining for them with Dwight Howard deciding to move to Houston. The team won't have to shoulder the even more punitive taxes that began this season. Kevin?
Good point, Doris. Thanks. Eldon Campbell, he's checked in for the Lakers. Van Exel comes in for Kobe. Clark, some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, they need a basket just to regain some momentum here, Kevin.
And Shaq backs down. Back to Scott. Looking to end the run. That one goes. Count. Scott's got 9 points in the quarter.
Well, it looks like he's finally found his footing in this game. His first quarter was a real struggle, but he's gotten it going now.
Rodman kicks to Jordan. Pippen, Ori defending. Here's Caffey. That falls. Nice feed that time from Scottie Pippen. Pippen's got 3 assists in the game. Jordan against Van Exel. Shaq working down low and stolen by Jordan. And here we go. The Bulls fast break. Jones checked in for Byron Scott. .106 left in the second quarter. Jordan dishes to Rodman. Back to Jordan. Down to 5 on the shot clock. It's stolen by Jones. He dishes it to Van Exel. Into Shaq. Drops in the layup for 2. Shaq's got 5 points so far.
Good job there recognizing the mismatch and then just going straight up with the shot. He's got a major height advantage.
It's Pippen with the drive. Here's Rodman. Hangs. And the layup is good. 8 points for him.
And they're beginning to fall apart a little bit defensively, especially inside.
Well, that's 4 straight buckets now at the rim.
Van Exel passes to Campbell. Jones from outside. And that'll be the Lakers as it goes out of bounds. Lakers retaining possession. Here's Van Exel. He has 5. 6 to shoot. Here's Campbell. And good work on the boards. They pick up a second chance points.
That's some tenacity inside, battling for the second chance points.
Close game as we wrap up the second quarter. It's the Bulls. They're up by 5. And coming up after the break, it'll be Damon Bruce breaking down all the highlights from the first half of play.
Now, presented by Sprint.
And now it's time to break down the first half for you here on this Wednesday edition of 2K at the half. Chicago with the lead against the Lakers. They haven't settled on tough shots. They're taking it strong inside. They're getting quality shots and a lot of quantity of those quality shots. For Scottie Pippen, things are certainly going his way against this Los Angeles defense. We're at halftime and still he hasn't missed a shot. It's been a pure shooting exhibition. And on the other hand, the Lakers are still alive. They've dialed in from long range an incredible shooting performance from outside. Kobe off to a good start. He's up to 9 points, and it's been bombs away from outside. That's all we've got here. Now, back to Kevin, Steve, Clark, and Doris for the second half.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first 2 quarters.
Looking at the game Pippen has been having, 13 points and a decent little assist total for him, too.
Yeah, he's played really well, moving the ball around, and you'd like to see the rest of the team kind of get into that same passing groove that he's in.
You know, last season, an NBA owner, and we won't name who it was, mentioned that the Lakers could potentially amnesty Kobe Bryant. Now, he knew that he is still a top shooting guard and plays like a superstar, but his contract really is up there at almost $30 million this season.
And the shot is good. Lakers trail by 7. Now Van Exel outside. Jones gets the three-pointer to fall. Well, we know the Lakers have got, Steve, a lot of issues with their cap. It's only going to get worse this year and continue to spiral in the wrong direction. There's even been talk among the writers that cover the Lakers about the possibility of amnestying Kobe Bryant.
I can't imagine. I mean, he's played his entire 17-year career here in L.A., 5 championships, one of the all-time great Lakers. But it's a cap question. Do they want to spend all that money for a player who's going to miss a lot of the regular season with that Achilles injury? And, you know, these calls can be some of the toughest in the game for the officials.
It all happened so fast, but I really think that was the right call. The defender was not really set in that situation.
It's stolen by Jones. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. The Lakers have missed more than they've made at the foul line tonight, 3 of 7.
Well, this is a club that shot 75% as a team from the free throw line last season.
And the first one drops. That one is no good. The Bulls leading by 3. The drive by Jordan and the powerful one-handed slam.
Maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that.
And we know he's capable of those memorable dunks.
But, you know, they've got a nice lead. Don't take any chances. The simple one-hander is just fine.
A nice shot by Shaq. And we're just about a minute and a half into the third quarter of basketball. Passes it to Longley. That falls. Nice feed that time from Scottie Pippen. He's got 10.
He's been one of their more reliable options today, guys. I mean, his shooting has led them to this lead.
Los Angeles calls timeout. Kobe's checked in for Los Angeles. Lakers trail by 5. Now, here's Van Exel. 5 points in the game. Kobe kicks to Van Exel. Ball's knocked loose. Harper against Kobe. Outside Harper. Feeds it to Jordan. All sorts of time. Another one falls for Chicago. Lakers have gone 2 of 3 from the field to start the second half. And Kobe, here we go. They push it up 4 on 3. Harper dishes to Pippen. The shot goes in as the ref calls the blocking foul. He's on his way to the free throw line. He's gone 1 of 1 in the game so far from the line. Second half of play with just under 2.5 minutes gone. On the wing, Kobe. To stop the run. Scottie Pippen grabs the miss.
Great dunkers should not blow wide open opportunities like those. I'm embarrassed for you.
And it's the Lakers on the break. And Campbell throws it down.
I'd say that fast break went according to plan.
Yeah, it sure did. A good job getting it started and a better job finishing it off.
Up top, Pippen. Ori defending. Pippen, the pass to Harper. Back to Pippen. 6 on the shot clock. From deep three-point range, and they force the shot clock violation. Great D. And the Bulls making a change here. Wennington's checked in. Lakers trail by 8. It's Kobe Bryant on the wing. Back to Van Exel. He feeds it to Kobe. He's against Jordan. Bryant in the post, guarded by Jordan. Kobe, that's good. Kobe's got 11 points. The Bulls leading by 6. And here's Pippen. 16 points for him. Boom, he jams it straight down.
How about that? Breaking out the Statue of Liberty on that dunk.
A nice way to pad that lead a little more.
Yeah, you got that right.
Van Exel kicks the shot and uses both hands to jam it in.
Cutting into that lead a little bit. Way to finish.
And the basket is still shaking.
Oh, man, he's got so much power.
For Chicago, they've gone 6 of 10 from the field in the third quarter. Outside Pippen. The dish to Jordan. Working on Bryant. The drive by Jordan. Lays it up and banks it in. Jordan's got 6 points.
He wasn't able to get his name in the score sheet in the first half, but he looks like he's starting to find his comfort zone here.
Check his screen on Harper. Van Exel kicks to Kobe. Shot clock at 6. He's against Jordan, and Kobe Bryant gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game.
Terrific defensive play to cut him off and square up.
And he took a shot. Excellent toughness to get in there and make a play. I love that kind of work.
Chicago making a switch here. Jones against Jordan. Now Parrish inside. That drops and it comes off an assist from Jordan. And the Bulls lead by 10.
That was some skill there. Nice use of the bounce pass.
Dennis Rodman. He's checked in for the Bulls. The Lakers have gone 5 of 7 from the field in the third quarter. Let's see if they can keep it up. Fisher dishes to O'Neal. Marvelous lead pass, and he throws it down.
Tell you what, Kevin, they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
Clark, that deficit will go away quickly if he does.
And I like the way he capped that drive off, guys, with the one-hand punch.
The pass to Wennington. Outside Jordan. 5 on the clock. Fades back. Rebounded by the Lakers.
Even though he isn't having the best of games from the floor, it hasn't seemed to hurt him.
Pass to Kersey. Trying his luck deep. No good. And the Bulls going the other way now.
Hard work on the glass once again, fellas. They put a lot of effort into their rebound.
Well, you get more rebounds, you get more possessions, more shots at the hoop, and oftentimes that decides the game.
He passes to O'Neal. Doubled by Harper. Now Kersey. It's a nice passing here by Los Angeles. Fisher can't hit.
And, you know, the rebounding edge here has been key because they're getting a lot of extra possessions offensively as a result.
Guys, you're absolutely right. It's made all the difference.
Harper gets to Pippen. Now the feed to Rodman. Back to Pippen. Here's the teardrop. And he sinks the layup. Pippen's got 20.
That's a precision shot. You've got to be precise. No room for error on the floater.
Pass to Ori. The steal. Right side, Pippen. Dishes it to Jordan. That's good. And now a 12-point Bulls lead. And a closer look here at the hustle stats for the Bulls.
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ballgame.
And another thing they're doing is really taking advantage of fast break opportunities, scoring some easy baskets.
Fast break. Here comes Chicago. Here's Harper. Ori with the rebound. Ori's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Ori has screen on Harper. Launches a 3. Kersey misses. The Bulls leading by 12. The shot and game clock separated by 4.
Boy, they've looked good in the open floor today. That's had a lot to do with their success.
Well, they've been doing the right thing, Steve. Anytime they've had numbers, they've gone straight up court with it right away. Boom.
Fisher, the pass to O'Neal. Harper against Jones. Passes to Wennington. Jordan. No up. Great defense that time from Fisher. Jones from outside. He got it up that time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And here at the end of the 3rd quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. Bulls lead by 14. And we welcome you back as we get going here in the 4th quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything. The Lakers with the ball. They trail by 14. Van Exel kicks to Jones. From outside, off the mark.
With the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in control of this game.
Yeah, they have not let their guard down one bit in the paint.
Here's Van Exel. With the lead pass. Stolen. 3-on-3. Kerr dishes to Jordan. Good on the shot. Jordan's got 12 points here in the 2nd half.
Well, he's having a great half here. Exactly the opposite of the first.
Van Exel passes to Kersey. And Shaq backs down. Shoots from the post. Somehow ignores the tight D and gets the layup. A little over a minute of the 4th quarter gone right now. Jordan kicks to Pippen. He dishes it to Kukoc. In low to Longley. Tries it from 9.
At the line for Bulls.
Free throw good, Longley. Ori's checked in for the Lakers. Kobe comes in for Jones. He hits both from the stripe. About a minute and a half into the 4th quarter now. Van Exel up top, defended by Kerr. Van Exel dishes to Kobe. 6 to shoot. Kobe gets a screen from O'Neal, and he dunks it after the pick frees him up.
That's basketball 101, guys. I mean, elementary. Use the screen to free yourself and then take it straight to the rack.
Yeah, very nice up play for him.
Well, that's using your head and using your body.
Chicago calls timeout. And we're around 2 minutes into the fourth quarter here. Kukoc kicks to Pippen. Feeds it to Kerr. Back to Pippen. High, arcing shot. And there's the pass to Orr. Kicks it to Kobe. It's good, and he drew contact on the shot, so he will go to the line. A three-point play chance here.
BRYANT. One shot.
The free throw drops for Kobe. Just a little under 2.5 minutes have passed now here in the fourth. Pippen, the pass to Kukoc. He kicks to Jordan. He feeds it to Kerr. Back to Jordan. Clock at 6. In low to Longley. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Jordan. And the Bulls lead by 15.
I really think that's the area they want to work the ball into, and it takes passing like that to get it done.
Van Exel kicks to Kobe. Here's Campbell. Pass to Ori from outside the arc. The offensive rebound. Out to Kobe. They shoot again. Puts it up from 7. And the Lakers take on 2 more.
It's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint. I guess the good news is they've taken away the outside shot.
Well, you know what? It doesn't matter how good their perimeter defense is if they're going to allow inside looks as easy as that.
Backing down is Jordan. He sinks the 11-footer. Jordan's got 4 points this quarter.
We've seen a noticeable improvement out of him since halftime. He didn't have a whole lot working in the first half.
For 3, Kobe. And it is flushed down with a nice jam.
No way to mess that one up, Kevin. I mean, he powered it down with both hands.
Not this guy. He is a superb finisher.
Yeah, he is an absolute force when he gets near the hoop.
Pippen with it. The dish to Kerr. He passes to Jordan. From deep. Jordan can't get that one to fall.
Boy, that was way behind the line. Now, he can make that at times.
He certainly is one of the guys that can actually do it from there.
Kobe attacking. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
Good game for Kobe. He's got 19 points, and those 4 3-pointers he's hit have helped him too.
Well, they'd be in a much different position in this game if he wasn't burying those long balls.
First one falls for him. Dennis Rodman. He's checked in for Tony Kukoc. And Kobe drops them both. Chicago leading by 10. Now Harper, outside Pippen, back to Harper. Good ball movement here by the Bulls. Jordan the pass to Longley. Outside for Pippen. 6 to shoot. A rebound by the Lakers. Jones has got his 3rd rebound tonight. Van Exel. He's guarded by Harper. Pass to Orr. The feed now to Jones. Inside to Shaq. Pass to Orr. Dishes to Van Exel. Kicks it to O'Neal. Knocked loose. Van Exel passes to O'Neal.
Tough call there and a tough break for the defense.
But, you know, I think you could still see him kind of sliding in there. I don't have a problem with the call.
And the Lakers making a change here. Campbell's checked in. Timeout called the Lakers.
He can't be pleased with all these easy looks they continue to give up in the paint.
They're just way too porous as a defense right now. A lot of holes in that defense. It's a good time to use a timeout here.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Hey, Kevin, during that last break, I heard the Lakers coach as he addressed his team. He told his players, turnovers are killing us right now. We can't keep trying to make the home run play. Settle down, run the offense, and make the simple pass. Kevin, sounds easy enough.
No good there, and that would have cut it to single digits.
You know, they're not totally dominating the glass, but they're definitely doing enough to keep this lead right where it is.
Well, if you're doing enough good things and you're maintaining at least a slight edge on the boards, you're usually going to be in pretty good shape.
Outside Jordan. Covered by Van Exel. With the fadeaway. And it's off the back rim. No good.
Really high quality shot there. Just a little off with his release.
That miss right there will definitely leave him shaking his head.
Back to Shaq. Longley on him. Shaq kicks to Van Exel. Second shot opportunity. Shaq with the bucket.
It seems like they're finding an open lane to the hoop every time down. That's 5 buckets in a row for them in the paint.
Yeah, on the flip side, Steve, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior.
The drive by Jordan. Longley. Here's Rodman. Outside Pippen. There's the triple. The Lakers with the rebound. Shaq's got 7 rebounds in the game. The shot by Ori, no good. Guys, a good chance for them to slow it down.
Yeah, I agree. Got to use some clock here.
And it's Shaquille O'Neal with the foul. That's foul number 2 for him. Kobe's checked in for Jones. It's Pippen with the drive. The shot no good.
I don't know if it's just me, but he's looked a step slow since the start of the quarter. His shooting has really suffered.
He dishes it to Van Exel. And a miss there on the triple.
You know, he just hasn't looked right to me. A bit out of sorts, if you will. Something's off with his mechanics, at least as I look at it.
Rodman dishes to Pippen. Pippen is doubled. Jordan covered by Van Exel. Jordan can't get it to go.
The fadeaway was the right shot there because it got his attempt away from the defender, but the touch was poor.
Ori kicks to Kobe for 3. Rebound by the Bulls.
You rarely see him missing dunks, but the defender was right in his face on that one, and it threw him off just enough.
Knocked away. And that's out of bounds. Chicago will retain possession. So Chicago ends up going with the new group. Kathy Campbell defending. And he converts the layup.
Well, the fans already heading for the exits, clearly not pleased with the way their home team played here today.
And they shouldn't be pleased. I mean, it's a very well-deserved win, Steve. They came into this building and weren't intimidated at all. They were the aggressors.
Van Exel passes to Kobe. And a miss there with a chance to cut the lead to single digits. Now here's Brown. Out of bounds, the Lakers will take possession.
Well, that's inexcusable to throw a pass that far off the mark.
Long range from the inbound. No good. And so Chicago takes this one, and by a big margin. Not much to be critical of at this win, Clark.
Not at all. I mean, they showed up not just to play, they showed up to give great effort and to win, and they did both.
Thank you for joining us for this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. For Clark, Stephen Doris, and the rest of the crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Last but not least, here is your Jordan Player of the Game, Scottie Pippen.